Welcome to Grimy Politics.
How you doing, everybody? How you doing?
Yeah, we're hanging out tonight, or this afternoon. It's on Sunday. We're going to be talking about a couple different topics and just hanging out and chatting like we typically do.
Yeah. Good convo.
Yeah. So the first thing I wanted to hit you with, did you see what the unions did this week?
No, what's going on?
So a lot of these unions, they endorsed Biden on the basis that, he wasn't gonna, shut down their jobs and kill a bunch of stuff. It totally ended up happening. We'll cover that and all the other shenanigans that have taken place already just this week. But big ones like that are definitely worth talking about because it happened fast and
people didn't expect it.
Life comes at you fast, man. So yeah, he ended up basically nuking some of the jobs already. Here's a post from Cernovic where
You don't know the advice the president's going to give you.
He didn't follow. He didn't hold up his end on any of this stuff. So this is Leuna, which is pipe fitters and plumbers, and here's the post from back in I believe it's August. Where they were endorsing Biden together. We helped push Joe and Kamala over the top and helped elect many pro-union, pro-labor, pro-family candidates to the office. Mm-hmm. And then this is them over the last couple of days. Pipeline construction has been a lifeline for many Luna members across the country. The anticipated decision to kill the Keystone Pipeline will kill thousands of good-paying union jobs. And that's happened. Did you see the huge stack of executive orders that Biden had?
Yes.
Yeah, one of those was stopping the Keystone XL pipeline.
That's crazy, but you get what you asked for.
That is exactly
they asked for it.
That's exactly what he told them they were going to do, and that's exactly what he did.
Isn't Pennsylvania, and that's where this is happening at, right? This is where
Keystone XL pipeline runs through the Dakotas. I think it comes down from Montana and then crosses over through South Dakota and then down through Iowa, and then it may even cross into Missouri. I'm not sure, but I think it goes all the way to Texas, because basically what the Keystone XL was a pipeline that allowed Canada to be able to ship their oil down to the Gulf of Mexico.
Right. Because I remember I seen an article about Canada having something to say about Joe Biden's decision to write the executive order as well.
Yeah, I think they're suing us.
Yeah, that is it. It's a bunch of lawsuits going around, isn't it? Isn't Texas, someone in Texas being or is about to sue?
I remember there was something out of Texas that's going on. I can't remember specifically what it is, but lawsuits are flinging fast and wild, man. Of course,
because the executive orders that Biden signed, which I do not like the insulin one, I do not agree with at all.
Did you look that up?
Yes, I did look that up.
So tell me what it's about.
Basically, so the executive order he signed in December wasn't supposed to go effect until I think March 3rd is what the article said. March 3rd or March 23rd, one of those. But Biden signed an order basically to halt it and to hold a lot of different things that was supposed to start this year to investigate and see if they really wanted to go through or not. Yeah. I don't think they really care what it is either. Stopping insulin should not have been first on your list as acting president.
So has it affected the prices yet? Because my understanding was it was going to go up.
I've seen different articles. I've seen different articles, and one of them was from Fact Check, basically saying that it didn't really change the prices at all yet, and some women or some people saying that it did. So I'm not really sure if it did or didn't, but I know it wasn't supposed to go into effect until March.
All right, and so that I got kind of an anecdote that plays into that, along with what's happening with the other side of it. So they end up with a situation where they make a change today, and then they immediately claim that, it's had no effect on anything yet. And so they shut down the Keystone XL pipeline, but they say, it's going to stop the future movement on it. They signed the deal to where no new leases could be signed on federal land to extract oil. And they were like, no new leases, guys. We aren't putting anybody out of work. Well, here's the thing, man. The business of today happened yesterday. The things that happened in business today weren't decided today. They were decided yesterday based on what they anticipated today to be like. And that applies to the Keystone XL pipeline. That applies to oil extraction from federal lands. And that applies to drug prices. Right. So you have all these companies that are basing their drug prices or their oil prices off of what they think will happen tomorrow. Well, if you change that to what'll happen tomorrow or make it uncertain, you change the business that'll happen on those days. So their argument is nobody should be being put out of work. It's just the new guys won't be brought in. And it's no, you don't understand. Businesses like oil companies, they work on they churn, they get the motor going, they get the machine moving, and then they use the basis of what they see in the future as a premonition of what they're going to do now. And so if now they're being told, hey, we're going to shut down the Keystone XL pipeline, we're going to stop leasing you new federal lands, and I'm assuming that has to do with the continental shelf too, out into the Gulf of Mexico, then your machine is going to grind to a halt. You're no longer hiring new people. So in the same thing as
you had before,
and even the same thing with insulin. Even if you're in a situation now where insulin prices aren't changing yet, that the die has been cast, things are going to change in the industry, futures are going to change, probabilities of what's going to happen is going to change. So they have sowed that seed. Even if Biden comes out in a month and says, hey, we reviewed this Keystone XL pipeline, turns out the most dangerous portions of it have really already been done, and we're putting in extensive efforts, which we were, to ensure that we protected wildlife, both the native tribes that the pipeline runs through their areas of, and the water sources. But once it's already been done, it's silly to stop at this point. Now granted, there's always a potential for oil spills once that pipeline gets going and stuff, but that exists for everything. And so so my concern is not insulin and EpiPen prices today, but where they're going to go. And there was no good argument for doing that.
For stopping it,
there was no good argument.
He's just doing it. It was just more bashing on Trump.
Yeah.
Pretty much trying to erase him, or just trying to make it seem like everything he did was illegitimate.
Yeah.
It was just fucked up. And that's crazy. That's crazy. That's what your goal. Because we really don't know what Biden and Harris really wants to do. Right. Because Biden has been gone for forever.
He campaigned on not being Trump.
And disappeared into a bunker for pretty much this whole campaign.
And that's what he's doing now. I was going to get to that next.
Really? He ain't doing anything. We don't know what he even wants. He's coming in, and a couple of days later, he's just rewriting everything Trump did. Erasing it.
We used to say it, the phrase used to be, the Biden campaign put a lid on it. But as of 2:00 Saturday, the Biden administration had put a lid on it for the weekend. Saturday. Now here's the thing, Saturday morning it came out that there was nothing on Kamala Harris's schedule for the entire weekend, which is a little weird. First weekend as vice president, nothing on the schedule. And the only thing on Biden's schedule was the meeting with his advisors till 2 p.m. and then nothing till Monday. First weekend, and here's the thing, you could initially look at it and say, well, it's the weekend and yada yada, no, dude, it is day 3 and 4 of him being president.
But it doesn't surprise me. Let me tell you, why does it surprise you?
It surprises me.
Okay, go ahead, tell me.
It surprises me based on the fact that I really assume that the people that put in so much effort to actually put Joe Biden into office would immediately start to use that power. And the problem is that while the mind of the Biden administration is willing and able, the body is tired. And I don't think that they can get the sort of motivational behavior out of Biden that they need to get him to do all the craziness they want to do. Dude, that's insane. So what did you do on your 3rd day as president? What did you do on your 4th day as president?
He's never said he was going to do anything.
That's true. He hasn't broken a promise yet because he made none.
Exactly.
Well, no, he promised to not be Trump.
He's been gone the whole campaign. We have no idea what he wants to do. Yeah, he won, and that was the thing. He wanted to win, and it's like, now what? Like, everybody's in a now what stage because we had they had no other plan but to get rid of Trump.
Right.
That was the finish line. That was the goal.
What did Ledger say? I'm like a dog chasing a car. I don't even know what to do if I caught it.
They caught it.
And now they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it doesn't surprise me that he ain't do nothing for 3 days. Or Kamala Harris is
okay,
as useful as him.
So here's how vice presidency works out. If you are in power, the vice president is the second most. Like if you're a Democrat and there's a Democratic vice president, that person is the second most powerful person in the world. You feel me? Mm-hmm. However, if that doesn't line up, if you're a Republican and they're a Democrat, or you're a Democrat and the vice president is a Republican, it's largely a ceremonial role, and their only obligation is to break ties in the Senate. That is literally how this breaks down. The last vice president to actually do something with the office was Dick Cheney, and he was like a scrupulous dude. He was a real terrible conservative. Like, he was involved in like some really shady companies that profited. He was a war profiteer. He made money off of different wars we got involved in. He was George Bush Jr.'s vice president, and while Bush was out basically just being goofy and being an idiot, like, Cheney was the guy behind the curtains, pulling all the strings and making all the things happen, being sure that the military industrial complex kept churning different wars out. That's how we ended up in Iraq. That's how we ended up in Afghanistan. Like, the Trade Center towers attack were the greatest thing that could have happened for Dick Cheney.
Because it got him a chance to do what he really wanted to do since the beginning.
He had all these toys, and he, like, Clinton had got us into some messes and stuff, and different little skirmishes, Kosovo, things like that. But like Bush, like, cranked that dial up, man. They got Donald Rumsfeld was like a monster. Like, that we got into some crazy shit with Bush. But that it goes back to it depends on if it's your vice president or not. Right, how much power they have. But honestly, your only role as vice president is to stay alive in case the president is unable to do so, and break ties in the Senate. Which, I mean, it's so rare for a tie to... You usually have to have, like, a really unusual circumstance, like trying to impeach a president along party lines, for instance. You might need a tiebreaker for something like that.
Speaking of, what are his chances of getting impeached? I mean, they're moving...
Well, he's done been impeached. You mean
well,
convicted?
Not impeached, well, convicted, yes.
Mm-hmm.
yes. This time around,
they're much lower based on the fact that he didn't pardon Julian Assange and Edward Snowden.
Now you gotta tell me what was up with Julian Assange. Like, I've been seeing articles talking about him and talking about how Trump is. At least he could have done was pardon him. He pardoned Kodak Black and Wayne or whatever. Why you didn't?
Who is that?
Who? Kodak Black?
Yeah.
Oh, he's just like, he's a rapper.
What do you do?
To get in jail? I mean, I don't know. I don't follow him like that. I know he probably did something he wasn't supposed to be doing.
That's typically how that works.
From what I read, he did a lot of stuff while in prison, like donating to a lot of charities and stuff like that. At least that's what the article says is the reason Trump, pardoned them. But I don't know. I just want to know, what is it with Julian Assange? Like, why was he so pivotal for Trump to pardon him? Why did they want him to pardon him?
He's the WikiLeaks guy. Julian Assange is the guy that ran WikiLeaks. So from I think 2013 through 2017, WikiLeaks was like the foremost place on leaked government documents. Like, we found out tons of gnarly stuff that was going on all over the world because of WikiLeaks. Like, they were leaking stuff that nobody else had. And so that made him a target, and he ended up being bounced around. Different embassies housed him and stuff. But these countries like ours, like the NSA, wanted him. There was the Russian government wanted him, and stuff.
Everybody wanted him.
Yeah, to put him on trial for releasing their documents and stuff. Despite the fact, man, information should be free.
Right.
Like, if you don't want something you're doing to be on the internet, then don't ever type it into a computer. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And especially if you're a government organization doing some shady shit that you've told to your people over and over you're not doing, and someone exposes that, that's on you, not Julian. But
so he got caught.
Well, I mean, not caught. He was always openly the founder and president of WikiLeaks. He was always that guy.
I thought you said he was running to different embassies.
Well, he was trying to stay away from getting arrested, dude.
Right.
He's lived in embassies for years. Like, couldn't even step out on the sidewalk of the building he was in because he would have been arrested. Like, it's a crazy. It will be in a very incredible story one day, and I hope it has a happy ending. But Trump couldn't give him that happy ending.
So why?
If Trump would have pardoned Edward Snowden, I think, or Julian Assange, Mitch McConnell would have convicted him.
But I mean, isn't it still possible he can get convicted?
Yes. He traded the potential for the guarantee. He traded the guarantee of getting convicted for the potential of getting convicted by not pardoning Edward Snowden or Julian Assange. And here's the other thing, like, nobody's paying attention to this right now. Like, Biden could just do that. Why was it only
pardon?
Yeah, why is it only Trump could have pardoned Edward Snowden and Julian Assange?
Why
can't Biden do it?
Why can't he? Why does anybody want to or want it to happen? Like, I'm thinking that the left, Democrat, everybody else doesn't want him pardoned, or Mitch McConnell for that matter, right?
The establishment.
Yeah. So, like, what do you mean Biden could just do it?
Well, he could do it. Like, there's nothing stopping Biden from doing it either. Why wouldn't he do it? Because
the same reason why they didn't want Trump to do it.
Well, the establishment doesn't want him to do it, and that's my point. Is like they're gonna like give Trump shit for not doing it when it's like, well, why aren't you asking Biden to do it? It's like, well, he's establishment. Is that why? Yeah. That's why you can't ask him, because you know Biden won't do it, because why would he shoot himself in the foot unless he's getting one of those insurance policy things? So like, that's why. And so that's why it's so hypocritical, and it makes their stuff so obvious that liberals got all mad at Donald Trump, because they did. Like, people were bitching that Donald Trump didn't pardon Julian and Edward all over the internet from both sides, but never has it crossed anybody's mind to be like, well, Biden's in there, why don't you just get him to do it now? Because you know he won't. Because you know he
blasphemy.
Yeah. Isn't that messed up though? But it's like, no, it is. So be careful while you're giving Trump shit for not pardoning Snowden and Assange, and not immediately putting the pressure on Biden's administration to do the exact same thing.
But they won't.
They won't. Of course they won't.
They won't. Well, nobody speak a word of it.
It's
suicide too.
A lot of people are also afraid of what's still out there that could potentially be exposed if you do pardon those guys. And I say let that shit roll. Dude, Edward Snowden exposed the fact that the NSA has Operation Mockingbird, which literally is the government using our media as propaganda against us. It's a CIA operation, and it's totally legal. And he exposed that, and it pissed everybody off for a couple days. And then what were the Kardashians doing last night?
I'm not sure why the Democrats or any of them would even be worried. I mean, it's not like anything will happen. They're not gonna. I mean, they're untouchable at this point. I've covered Debbie Wasserman Schultz before about the things that she's done, and nothing has happened to her. She directly threatened a sitting police chief in open court in front of everyone, and nothing happened to her. Like, nothing happened to her. And everybody's like, that's it, you're going to jail. I can't believe you just did that. And she's like, what are you talking about? And turns out she was right. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they're above the law, dude. There's no way around it. So yeah, no, they definitely they've got a situation there where it's like, why don't you just ask your boy to do it now then? Mm-hmm. And they aren't, because no, we don't want him to do that. They'd be mad at him. Oh, but you were cool with Trump doing it. Oh.
Since Biden became president, it hasn't been anything but like rainbows and puppies.
Right?
It's been pageants and balls. It's been
was
rock star.
My favorite, like the AP, like as soon as the inauguration was happening, I was paying attention to the inauguration in 2017. Yeah, it was immediately all about memes about what Bernie Sanders was doing, dude, and it's such an incredible contrast. I think the leading story from the AP when Trump was inaugurated was that girl screaming out in front of the Capitol. You know the one I'm talking about, the beanie girl with the glasses, just no.
Oh
yeah, like the
trigger girl.
Yeah, like that's the that was what was going on when like those were the articles coming out, and certainly there was no puff pieces about look how lovely everyone's dressed. Dude, Melania looked incredible at the inauguration of Donald Trump. There wasn't one article written about it, but holy shit, if the internet did not explode with memes of what was it, Michelle's hairdresser at home after doing God's work. Like, give me a break. What the fuck are you talking about? That's such puff garbage.
It is, but that was a good meme.
It's a funny meme, but it's like, but that is where the internet goes. It's like, so you only hold your government accountable when your guy's not in there.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna let, like, what we're gonna talk about was Joe Biden wearing a Rolex? And then have a whole argument. The internet got into an argument about whether it was fair to point out the fact Joe was wearing a Rolex. That was Inauguration Day 2021.
I mean, I don't know. You couldn't expect anything different.
Did you
the
see?
media has been the way the media is for a long time now.
Did you see that when they initially tried to go into the White House, it was locked? They got Joe and Jill up there, and because her doctorate is they got up in front of the White House and they were taking their pictures and stuff, and Joe went to go turn and go in and the door didn't work, and at that point his whole family started coming up and stuff, and I guess somebody on the inside was like, oh crap, the president's trying to come in, and they unlocked the door and let him in and stuff. It was just funny. It's just,
what about that note Trump left?
Oh, that one was fake. The Joe, you know I won. I printed that out and left it on Lisa's desk.
No, but he did leave a note.
Sure he did.
Yeah.
They always do.
Okay.
It's actually the first time in a long time that the outgoing president and the incoming president didn't have a meeting. Like, remember when Trump got, they were supposed to sit down for a 30-minute meeting, and it ended up turning into like a 2-hour meeting, and then they had a really nice press conference afterwards and stuff. None of that happened.
But COVID.
Right, yeah.
Can't do that.
I'm sure. And did you see, like, less than 24 hours after Joe Biden signed that federal mask mandate, that he was on federal property without a mask? I'm the president. Did you see
that
how...
didn't mean for him. It didn't mean for anybody.
Right, exactly. And
that's affiliated with him. It's the peasants. That's what that was for.
Yeah, that was for us. That was for us filthy common folk. We need to make sure we wear our masks. Did you see how quickly everything's starting to open up back?
Yeah, I've been noticing I can go different places now.
Como
or the drive-through.
Right. The governor of New York came out and said, turns out closing down all these restaurants and closing down the city didn't work. It's destroying the economy. We need to get everything opened as quick as possible. Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, the one that had her state capital besieged, and you had that one group that was going to kidnap her and put her on trial and everything. So she's been like the worst governor. Like, our governor sucks, but like Whitmer's been really bad. And I can see that. I see everybody else has got an unjaded view of these governors. Like, I do not. I live in Illinois, so like I know what a kind of terrible governor looks like, and Whitmer is way worse. Well, effective like yesterday morning, she's like, we need to get things going.
Really?
And just
really
opened it up.
You said under siege. Like, what did she do? What?
Oh, she locked down her entire city. She was the one that like made it to where at like Walmart you couldn't buy seeds to plant flowers. You couldn't buy paint. Because those are not essential things.
Oh, so she banned you from going to Walmart, buy whatever you want.
At Walmart,
you can only buy specific items.
Yeah, in Walmarts in Michigan, they would have in plastic covering up all the things that you couldn't buy. Like it was North Korea or something, dude. We're Americans. I'm sorry. If it's available for sale at any time, it's available to sale at all times, unless you're going to pass a law to make yourself a dry county.
Well, I'm just glad it's opened it back up. I mean, it could have went the other fucking way. Everybody thought they were going to, like, take hold of that power to keep shutting everything down and making people stay inside. At least they openly flipped. You know what I mean?
Right.
Instead of just keep pushing this shit.
But it shows it would have
been worse though.
What?
I mean, if they would have kept saying lock everything down, stay in the crib.
But they didn't want to do that because then it would have been their economy that collapsed.
I don't know.
See, here's the thing.
People like control.
Some
people don't like giving up control.
Right. Well, effective Tuesday at midnight, Tuesday at noon, COVID deaths become Biden deaths. Effective Tuesday at noon, when a cop runs over a bunch of people, that happened in Biden's America. You know, I tweeted that I said that. Did you see what happened in Tacoma last night? I'll get into it in a second. We'll cover it, but
yeah.
I'm gonna show you some video and we're gonna run it. I'll show the video of what happened. But like, no, I said that after the accident and stuff. I was like, Biden's American. Some dude's like, said no one. No one yet. But y'all said Trump's America within hours of the inauguration, and looking around, this is Biden's America now. So
Biden is president of the United
States. If a cop runs over a big group of people on purpose, that was Biden's cop, right? Let me find this video. It was pretty disturbing, man. I know that a couple places went live with it last night. So this is the footage.
Oh shit! Oh my god! Fuck! Holy fuck! Oh my god!
Alleged.
Hit those people!
Oh my god!
Allegedly what?
It's just the thing.
No.
Oh shit!
It's a thing I am watching.
Oh my god! Fuck! Holy fuck! Oh my god!
Hit those people!
Oh my god!
He got hung up on something.
Oh shit! Oh my
So
god!
where's that cop?
Fuck!
Is he on
Holy
leave?
fuck! Oh my god!
We need to find out what happened with that story.
Hit those people!
Oh my god!
When did that happen?
Last night.
Yeah, we need to find that story. And see, that's why.
All right, press release. On January, let me make sure everything's working. All right, on January 23rd, 2021, the Pierce County Force Investigation Team responded to an investigation of an incident involving a Tacoma police officer that had reportedly struck one or more pedestrians at the intersection of the place. Officers from several outside agencies responded and are conducting an independent investigation. 2 individuals taken to area hospitals. One of them has been released. One of them has been released. That's what it says. None of the injuries were believed to be life-threatening. So that is just a general press release from the investigation team.
Fuck that. Thompson, none of that shit seemed to be life-threatening. It looked to me all their lives were threatened.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And that was a police SUV, so it stands to reason the back of that was pretty loaded up with stuff, so it'd have been pretty heavy. Did you see it roll over that dude?
No. Nah, see shit like that. Like that's why people don't trust the police. Like when you can just do that. I guess regular people could just do that too, but I mean,
not to take anything off of them, but one of the things that have been out there is that cop was trying to get out of there and those people were blocking him in. But still, there's
still.
than that. Well, first
like,
off,
so say if protesters did, I'm just trying to go home. I can run them over there. Is that a great enough excuse to get somebody out of my way?
No.
All right then. So I'm a regular citizen. Police officers supposed to protect and serve people are running people over.
You do know that the police have no legal obligation to protect you.
That's what they slogan say.
Right. that is what someone went to the Supreme Court with. They went to the Supreme Court with the premise that their slogan is to protect and serve, but the Supreme Court found that is a slogan. The police are under no legal obligation to protect you in any manner. You need to know that.
That's crazy. I mean, it's not like I relied on them to protect me in the first.
Sure.
I have never relied on them to protect me, but I mean,
they're under no legal obligation
I
to
ain't
do
know
so.
it was to the extent of they can just walk away if they felt
100%.
like it. I guess so, yeah.
100%. They can walk away.
That makes sense.
They're under no legal obligation to protect you. And they're certainly not under any obligation to put their life in danger to protect yours.
So their only obligation is to arrest us if we break the law.
Their legal obligations are defined by their city. Like, if you want to find out what your particular cops legally have to do, you need to start digging through your city's laws, or your county's laws, or your state's laws to find out what they're actually legally responsible to do. My guess is the only thing they're legally responsible to do is the same thing I'm legally responsible to. Be a mandatory reporter. If I see a child being abused or someone being abused or anything like that, I legally have to report it. And if I don't, I can be prosecuted for it.
Gotcha.
So my guess is that they probably have some sort of mandatory reporting thing like that. And that's probably the only thing they're legally responsible to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, they go far beyond that.
Right. And they probably have to maintain a legal driver's license because their job is to drive a vehicle. And if not, they'll just give you desk duty. Don't you worry. We got you. So yeah, so that happened last night. I haven't seen the results of which. I thought late last night at one point that there was a statement that came out from the police department, but I haven't seen it again since, and I've been with me since I woke up, so I haven't gone looking for anything new. So, but yeah, really unfortunate. Hopefully everybody's okay. Like they said, they didn't think any of the injuries were life-threatening, so at least we can go off that it should be all right.
Yeah, I can let that go if y'all want.
That's not bad. That's bad. I
I
want to know the whole story.
I mean, if nobody dies, that's just, to me, it's fucked up that they're willing to do that.
Right.
You know, and regardless of what the legal system says, when you become a police officer, you know what you're morally responsible of doing. Like,
you're right.
You know, like, you don't. What?
We see the insta bad in it for sure, but like I've been through too many of these George Floyd, Kyle Rittenhouse situations where I'm like, there's gonna be dash footage, there's gonna be stuff on there. Were people trying to violently get inside the vehicle? Were they trying to disable the vehicle in some way that the cop couldn't get away? Was there no way to back up? Because here, I'll tell you, man, if you're ever plowing through an area and your option is to either hit a car or hit a person, you hit that car every single time. Even if you hit that car and bounce into the person, that is better than just hitting the person. And in the videos I saw, because that's not the only angle I saw, there's a couple angles of it.
Yeah, what?
Both angles look like the cop made the wrong call.
Okay.
It looked like, in my opinion, both times the wrong call was made. Because even if that cop had been in a situation where she or they were trying to get away, it's going to be hard to argue in court. You had no way of getting people away from your... You didn't have mace in that car. You couldn't crack your window a little bit, start firing it, and then sweep the front of your vehicle to clean the front of it out so you could get going. Like, they're going to be hard pressed. Could you not fire a warning shot from your 12-gauge shotgun into the air through the roof of your cruiser? If you thought your life was in danger, is there not any method you would look at before resorting to physical violence in a situation like that, especially knowing you're going to be under scrutiny for whatever you just do?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, running over like 20 people?
At the same time, I mean, it's unless you actively killing the person, unless a cop is actively trying to kill a person on videotape, they can pretty much do whatever the fuck they want and not really worry about it. And I doubt he was worried about killing someone. I mean, or losing his job.
You know, my biggest problem isn't the initial push. You know, my problem is when that truck came to a stop and then he gunned it to get over whatever he was stuck on. because there's no way in your mind to play that out that you
didn't know that was a person.
You
under
knew
there?
that was a person under there. There's no way around that. So the badge won't save them for that. The city won't save them from that.
Because it's on video.
Right. And that is a clear... I don't even know if you need video, dude. If I ran over your rib cage with my car and you went to the hospital, you don't have to prove to anybody you were ran over by a car. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's evidence. Or you don't need a video to prove it. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. You don't.
What did you say at first?
I said you don't need any evidence to prove that happened. You don't need video evidence to prove that happened.
Right.
So
the evidence of the ribs being broken.
And I guarantee that, I mean, dude, your skin's pretty tough, but you are still a squishy 1-1 creature. And if I run a vehicle over you and give that vehicle enough gas to break traction on your back, it's going to break traction by taking chunks of your back with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, your skin's not going to hold up better than them good years. The tires aren't going to shred because you work out. Bad call 100% all the way around. I really hate to see that. I hope all them people involved are okay. I don't know what the circumstances were that led up to that, but I'm sure we'll find out in the coming days. And can't blame it on
They'll find a way. I still seen a whole lot of Trump shit.
Yeah, it'll stay
but at
like
least he
that.
looks happy being.
The reports did come out, and I was pretty happy about that as well.
I'll be worried how much they're gonna attack him now, like, and how much power he does not have anymore. Like,
he's still rich.
I mean,
he's still got friends in high places.
Does he?
And he moved to Florida, and so yeah, like, Florida's got his back. Marco Rubio, Ron DeSantis, Matt Gaetz. I think Gaetz is from Florida.
He's still stupid.
Who?
Trump.
For
yeah,
what?
like, I still feel like he's an asshole leaving. I mean, the way he left everything, I still feel like he's a bit of an asshole.
Yeah.
He wasn't bad, but he's a fucking asshole.
With what, the Assange stuff, or what, the speech?
Just for the riots and everything leading up to after the election and everything, from December to the 6th.
All and you know, I kind of get that. I'm sure it was an incredibly awkward time for him. Like, imagine that, and I'm not stating anything as fact, but imagine you thought it was legitimately stolen from you, and you got the most votes that any sitting president has ever got. Not only did you win over the people that have voted, the 62 million that voted for you in 2016, but man, you gained another 12 million on top of that, and you still lost to a lot of really weird circumstances that are definitely worth being investigated. I'm not saying anything should go to jail. I'm not saying any election should be overturned, but we cannot let this happen again, or you will lose entire faith. And then if the people really do lose all the faith in the electoral system, dude, all this bullshit back talk about an uncivil war and like violence and stuff, it will happen. It will absolutely happen once people are fully convinced that they cannot win. Now, the mainstream and the elites can claim it was just to get Trump out of there and do whatever. That's fine. We'll find that out, because usually when somebody learns a cheat code in their game, they don't quit using it until the developers make them stop. When you find an exploit in your favorite first-person shooter, do you just quit using it because it's unsportsmanlike to continue to use it, or do you quit using it because they're banning guys for using it now?
Or they've patched it.
Or they patched it to where you just can't do it anymore. So people don't quit doing things that give them advantage of their own accord. That is literally the opposite of evolution. You are fundamentally designed to take advantage of every single advantage or upper hand that you can find in your life. So if you find one and you gotta quit using it just because it's too powerful,
no.
Said no villain ever.
Right.
Like, I'm saying, like, so, you know, if they know how to do this and they know it works and they know the media is willing to cover for them, because ultimately that's what it comes down to. The integrity of our election is based solely on how willing the fourth estate is to verify the integrity of our election. Because the parts involved in it, the people that benefit from the election or affect it, have no interest in investigating it. It has to come from the fourth estate. And we have very few media outlets anymore that are willing to investigate. What are we down to, like Project Veritas? Like, is that's like the last place in the country that actually does legitimate investigative journalism, undercover investigative journalism to discover what people are really doing. That is it, man.
I need to check them out.
There's nothing left. Oh, James O'Keefe, dude, he's got a wall of shame because for years, like, different media companies will post and say, you know, Project Veritas alters videos and they lied and they edited this together. Well, they always go after and sue the companies that say that and make them back that up in court. And they eventually, what ends up happening is the people have to print a retraction. So James O'Keefe at Project Veritas has this huge wall that is just full of retraction. And like, anytime someone starts talking shit that he's already had to smash, he'll just walk over to the wall and be like, see this one? This is who I'm talking to. Let's read his retraction from 2017.
That's badass.
I mean, it's the only way to actually
Project
go
Veritas. I'm checking him out.
Yeah, check out Project Veritas. James O'Keefe does a lot of really good work, but like, and here's the thing: I want him to be fair. I'd like him to go both ways, especially now that I'm politically homeless. I don't know about you, but I am politically homeless.
Yeah, I would agree. Like I said, I was pretty much behind Trump, and now.
Dude, effective November 7th, there was no Republican Party as far as I was concerned. They went right back to being the swamp. Swamp gonna swamp. What'd I say when we were messing? Swamp gonna swamp when the sunshine goes away. The orange man bad sunshine went away, and now the Republicans are right back to swamp. They were so ecstatic to have the support of middle-class America and working-class America because they hadn't had it for a long time other than the straight-up Bible-thumping folks.
Yeah.
And they had a huge congregation of just working-class people, and as soon as they were done with us, they just wiped us away. There's memes coming out where Black Lives Matter's now posting shit like, I think the Democratic Party used us.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, what? You go back. We'll need. No, we're not. They're not done with you. There's going to be an election in 2022.
To the other black people that were saying, nah, it's not what you think. We were the traitors.
Yeah,
we were the traitors. But look where we are now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look what's happening now. I mean, I don't feel bad.
I don't either.
I don't care. Antifa, y'all got a problem? I don't care. Y'all got what you asked for.
You did see that Antifa got nuked off Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Finally,
they're done with them.
Finally, exactly.
What do you mean?
Oh well, no. Do you know what the hinge-pin was?
What?
I think it was in Portland. Don't hold me to that. I may be wrong, but in one of the Antifa cities, they were parading around and doing their mayhem while chanting "F Joe Biden," and then they totally destroyed the DNC headquarters.
See, I heard a little bit about that.
It's like. You knew they were snakes when you let them in.
Why is that not mainstream though?
Well, because then they would have to acknowledge. Oh, that was the funny part. Because like a lot of these like news organizations had to start covering the fact that Antifa was getting nuked, and people were, well, why? Well, it turns out they were kind of violent for like 4 years. For like 4 years, they've been kind of violent, and so like.
Well, I can say there's been a little bit of justice. Though, I mean, Trump's out. We didn't get a good investigation about the fraud, but like a lot of motherfuckers are getting their just desserts. You know
here's the thing: which is worse, for you to have fought a good battle and your guy lost, and you walk away and try to pick up the pieces, or to help your guy win, and as soon as that happens, them turn the back on you? Which is worse?
That's worse. That's worse.
It is.
I'm over here just like
I still feel very confident.
I still gotta go to work tomorrow. You know, my life ain't changed.
Like I still feel confident in the fact if I ever happen to run into Donald Trump and I had a MAGA hat on, that he would embrace me as his friend, and he would thank me for my support and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. What would happen if you showed up to Joe Biden right now, like wearing an Antifa hat or a Black Lives Matter hat? Are you going to get that same level of thank you for your support and we appreciate everything you did?
He might have me arrested.
That's what I'm saying. How did you get this close to me?
Oh, yeah. Get spooked.
Yeah, so I think that, so there are far worse fates than losing. And the other thing, that helped me, I heard from Mark Dice. He said, the goal is to never beat Joe Biden. The The goal was to beat Hillary Clinton. And we did that. And regardless of how bad Biden might be, he's not an evil bitch with a revenge vendetta set in her brain.
So you said that the other day, and I've been thinking about that. So the video that we have of Joe Biden doing what he did to the Ukraine money that we're gonna get from us,
right.
Like the way he acted, the way he told that story, he seems a little bit more devious.
But it was money driven. Strictly.
I mean, if I'm willing to sell out my family for money, evil is evil.
He didn't sell out his family. He sold out the country. He sold out the country for his family.
Well, okay, but still is there. Like, you don't give a fuck about us.
Right.
I mean, you're a president.
But that's not specifically so there's like, so it's like you can punish your kid with a positive or a negative. You can be like, you can punish your kid by saying, I'm gonna take away your video games, and that's a negative. Or you can punish your kid by saying, I'm gonna make you do a bunch of chores. That's positive. Okay, so basically the same thing kind of equates to the other, like what's going on here. I mean, they could either punish you by giving or punish you by taking away.
Right, okay. All right. I mean, I feel like it could go way farther than you think it can, even if it's for money.
Yeah, but
his greed could destroy America.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is Joe took and gave to his family. I honestly believe Hillary would have been punishing and profiting from that punishment. Like, because she is, dude, Hillary Clinton is legitimately, I'm not a god
So person. You don't think Biden's in it for himself either?
Like, I think he's in it for himself, but he didn't show up at the White House pissed off at a bunch of people that he wanted to get even with right away. You get what I'm saying? Like, Joe Biden didn't show up in the White House immediately with the intent to get even with Trump supporters. He's letting the media do that. But Hillary Clinton would have shown up in there madder than hell at everyone that accused her.
But he did go into the White House and pretty much, like, revoke everything Donald Trump did.
That's not against Donald Trump. They're not his supporter. That's not his supporters. He undid Donald Trump stuff. That's what I'm trying to get at. Yes, they are going to attack Trump's legacy. They're going to go after everything that he did. But I don't think Joe Biden's going to, like, set out to specifically go against us. Like, send the IRS against every Trump supporter kind of thing, where Hillary Clinton would have. Obama did. Obama weaponized the IRS to go after the Tea Party. Like, and that's what I'm talking about, levels of evil. Joe Biden is too old, and what is this? Where's my pudding to be focusing on how do I get even with these people that tried to keep me out of the White House? Remember, Hillary Clinton called us a basket of deplorables. She hated Trump supporters. Okay? I honestly don't feel as though Biden's been in politics too long.
But she hates him because she lost.
No, she hated him before. She didn't call us deplorables after the election. That was before. Calling all Trump supporters racist was before the election took place. No, she hated Trump supporters. Because not only were we going after her, we were exposing the fact that her husband really likes to rape people. We were exposing, like, the Clinton Foundation stealing all that money from Haiti.
Yeah.
You know, that basically the earthquake that hit Haiti paid for Chelsea's wedding. And we exposed that, and that made her mad. So, yeah, how about this? The thing that would have sent her over the edge, dude, I know you weren't following politics at the times, but the 6 months leading up to the Trump-Clinton election, dude, her campaign manager's emails got spilled onto the internet. John Podesta, they were called the Podesta emails. It was like every day new Podesta emails were coming out, and it was glorious. WikiLeaks was dumping new shit on them every day, and there was some crazy stuff in there that is 100% legitimate, like spirit cooking, like all kinds of wacky shit. Tons of talk about pizza. Like, you remember the whole Pizzagate thing? Yeah. But here's the thing, like, and granted, like, the Q thing that came out of that and the conspiracy theorists, they were crazy to the extent they took it. Like, somebody actually went to Comic Pizza with an AR-15 to rescue kids from the basement. All that shit was bullshit, but check this out. The part that wasn't bullshit were the emails where they were weirdly talking about pizza. Like, they would say something like, hey man, I was gonna go do this and that. Is it cool if we pizza afterwards?
What was that supposed to mean again? I remember reading it, but like,
dude, who knows? It's levels of conspiracy theory after that. We never got the cipher to determine what pizza means and this and that, but it was
that the FBI's job?
Somewhere. But like that was the shit that was like being leaked out, and Hillary Clinton was viciously pissed. So yes, well, if she would have got in there, dude, it would have been straight up get even with us and enrich herself. Instead, we just ended up with a guy who's probably just gonna make his family money, and it's gonna be wildly comical watching it go happen because he's essentially got a crackhead in charge of his empire. How can you not want to watch that go down? How about this? The best thing?
I think I had in trouble on FB for
just
posting some shit like that.
Really?
I got a warning.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the funniest part. So like Biden day one signed all these bills to basically shut down oil in the country, to save the planet and stuff. So where did Hunter make all of his money at? Oh, that's right. A Ukrainian oil company. So that means that we can't produce that oil here, but we're going to keep using it. We're just going to get it from other people, hopefully in a manner that makes me some money. Why would you how can you say that you don't endorse the oil industry and fossil fuels when you've got your son working for a Ukrainian gas company?
Right.
And him being
was
okay
that his
with that.
stance all through his campaign?
His stance has been whatever the middle to left has wanted the entire time.
Yeah. So they didn't know what they were getting themselves into.
Dude, he campaigned on nothing. He campaigned on not being Donald Trump.
Right.
Success. It's messed up. But it's going to be comical and entertaining. Like I said, day 3 and 4, they called a lid on it, bro.
Oh, not everybody's going to see, huh? I mean, I don't think he's going to get reelected.
No, he won't make it that far.
Right. Kamala's next stuff, huh?
Yeah, he'll retire at some point. You saw that there was an interview out there somewhere where at some point they asked him, so what do you intend to do if you and Kamala don't see eye to eye on a particular subject? And he was like, well, I'll find a way to resign. I'll fake a sickness and resign. See, here's the thing.
Even Jesus used his Judas, man.
Right?
He used that backstab.
So, here's the thing. Like, Trump wanted to be president. Biden just wanted the title, man.
You want to say he did it?
He can now say he was president.
I don't understand how people don't see that though. He's been in politics for so long. People don't know that he's ran for president
multiple times.
Yeah, and
86, 93.
Why did everybody
16.
think this time is the we don't want Trump anymore, huh? Nobody had any expectations besides beating Trump.
No, don't you remember right after one of the caucuses in early January, there was still 3 or 4 people in there. Amy Klobuchar, the dude from Indiana, I can't remember his name right now, Little Wheat, Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. They were all still in there up until this one caucus happened, and then literally the next day, everybody but Bernie Sanders dropped out. At one time, they all dropped out. Pete Buttigieg was the guy I was thinking. They all dropped out at the exact same time, and everybody's like, what happened here? Biden barely won that caucus. He's not even technically leading, and now everybody's dropping out, and it's because the establishment came to him. They said, we're going to offer you this money, give us your support, give us your voters, and we'll make you a member of the cabinet. So you can fully anticipate that Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar, Elizabeth Warren, they're all going to end up in the cabinet somewhere.
I see.
Because they got to pay off those promises.
Yeah.
They got them to drop out. So that means that inherently the Democratic Party went into it knowing they didn't have the best candidate of their party.
They just had the most money and were able to pay off everybody.
They got everybody else to quit.
Yeah.
And so now it's a matter of just campaigning on not being Donald Trump. That's what they did.
And now strategy worked.
It did. It 100% worked. And now he's sitting in the White House and he's the president doing nothing all day.
Killing jobs.
4th day on the office and he is not doing anything today.
Or they work killing jobs is what he's doing.
Insane. It's a pudding day at
because they can Learn the code.
Learn to code. That is absolutely right. They can learn to code. So I don't know, man. Like, I mean, it's craziness going on out there. I do anticipate it settling down, but not because things are settling down, only because they're going to report it less. For instance, check this out. You know what Biden was doing while he was walking around the federal property with no mask on? That was all distraction. Because Biden just sent 25,000 troops to Syria. We went full...
It was a distraction?
Well, that's what happened. We were busy talking about Biden not wearing a mask, and he sent like thousands of troops to Syria because he's going to start a war in Syria. Like, we went 4 years with Trump without starting a single war. We killed Soleimani, but that was it. That was the only thing we did. And no new wars. And literally in the first week, Biden's already planning on launching a war against Syria.
Why weren't we in war with Syria before?
Because
was that part of some of Trump's speech deals?
Well, no, it was Trump didn't want to get involved in other people's shit.
Yeah.
Let them deal with their shit and figure it out. The United States we're not in a position to be able to go around and play everybody's bouncer and be moral authority on who's right. Yeah. Because anytime you get involved in a war, you're choosing who's right. When you pick a side, you're just saying they're right, we're going to help them.
Yeah.
And we can't always do that. And like regime change. Remember when Hillary Clinton said, "We came, we saw, he died"?
Yeah.
That is the Democratic motto, because the military-industrial complex lives and breathes off conflict. So we have to have continuous conflict going on. That's why, like, bringing in, when Trump brought in these cabinet guys that were terrible calls, that were just gonna want to go, like John Bolton. That guy was just a warmonger. He just wanted to fight wars anywhere because he made money off that. So, like, that's what the Democrats are going to do. Literally a week in, and we are sending troops to Syria to probably conduct some sort of regime change that affects you in no way whatsoever. That affects me in no way whatsoever. But we're going to send our boys over there to fight those.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I do respect people in the military. It's just, man... I sometimes they feel like they're going out there to die for things that, like, it's not even worth dying for.
The way you earn the loyalty of the military is by not sending them into places that don't make sense.
Yeah.
Don't send them somewhere where there's not a clear goal. That's the thing. If you send our military in with a very clear goal, I want you to capture this city, I want you to protect this building, when you get done, paint it pink, and then get the hell out of there. Dude, they will do that. They will get in there, they will clear that city, they will paint that building, and they will get the hell out of there. But if you just tell them, just go in there and just, like, try to maintain the peace forever. Like, that's not a military job. That's not a mission. That is an occupation. We don't do those. We do operations. Get in, get it done, get the hell out. That's where America got. That's why we back-to-back World War champs, baby, because that's what we did. Okay, we're in this now? Okay, let's end this then, right now. And we got in there and we ended shit. But ever since, like, Clinton got into office, man, now it's like occupational warfare. We'll go into a country, we'll disrupt everything they got going on, destroy their government, and then try to babysit it for decades. Like, why are we doing that? What sense does it make?
Because it's making somebody money.
You got it. Dude, the Iraq war was costing us billions of dollars a day. Same thing in Afghanistan.
I don't care.
And where do you think that money's going, dude? It's going right to, like, Lockheed
Somebody's
Martin
pocket.
And companies you've never heard of that make weapons that you don't know exist. You know what I mean? And it churns and burns, baby. It's bad news, and that's what we're going to be back to, unfortunately. And you're already seeing it.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised if in the next week or two, the big story on the news is those pretty green streaks running through the air and the night vision camera. You remember those? But back in the day, whenever they're showing us war, it'll be oranges and greens because we're bombing something somewhere in some country that don't mean shit and making a bunch of kids homeless and using drone strikes. You know that was Obama's thing, right?
Yeah.
He used
that's
drone
what I was just
strikes.
going to ask. Like, how many you think Biden will get up to before
I don't know.
He resigns or croaks it?
I don't know. But do you think Kamala's not going to pick up right where he left off?
I know they will. I know they will.
Yeah, so that's my prediction. If you want a prediction for what's coming up in the next couple weeks, and what we could potentially be talking about next week when we get back together, that's my guess. Is you're gonna start seeing rockets, red glares, baby. It's gonna be
People
on.
dying.
Yep.
We saw
in a country you can't find on a map. I mean, not you, I wouldn't be insulted, but just like normal people wouldn't even know where the fuck it's at, and we are over there letting our boys die from shit for some oil that we could just, I don't know, pump out of North Dakota.
That's crazy.
We were energy independent.
And this is
Trump
in the name of climate change.
Oh no, this one will be, you know, removing a totalitarian dictator and stopping genocide. They'll come. They're gonna Hollywood it up. They don't just say oil. They don't just say stuff like that, because if they did, if they were there for the oil, well, we have oil in North Dakota. Look, Trump made us energy independent. Why don't we just keep doing that? Yeah, because we got a bunch of coal miners and a bunch of dirty people getting rich.
It seems like when they take things overseas, they make a lot more money than doing it here.
100%. Because like they funnel it back through themselves. Like, yeah, no, Joe Biden can't write a bill to where he just gives himself money.
Yeah, I know.
But he can write a bill where he gives his son's company money.
Yeah. Or somebody that makes sure to kick it back to him.
Somebody to do, I don't know, gender studies in India.
Pakistan.
That's right. Do it in Pakistan and then teach it to India.
Yeah.
You got a company for that, then we can sign that bill. It's messed up. But yeah, so crazy week in politics, that's for sure.
Most definitely. It's going to get crazier.
Hey, at least they can't blame it on us.
We just gonna sit here and watch the shit.
Oh yeah.
Talk about it.
Till they come in and let us know how many people we have to let live with us in our home.
What's going on with the Twitter lawsuit?
Oh, you talking about the kid? Don't know. It went in, it got filed, and like it was a big story for a couple days. If you don't know what we're talking about, a person contacted Twitter to advise them that there was a video being hosted on Twitter
while he was 13 years old
of him being sexually abused as a minor. And when he asked Twitter to remove it and ban the person that was posting it, Twitter responded saying it didn't violate their terms and conditions. And then all hell broke loose.
That child porn didn't violate the terms and conditions.
Right.
Yeah, that's wild. Like, they're red-handed too. Like,
it's a crazy hill to die on, but you do you.
Like, right? Cause like we seen how bad and happy they are. It would have took them nothing just to look it up, see that it was child porn, and just nuke it off the internet.
Twitter's like, whoa, dude. We don't just ban people for no reason. Did he support Trump?
They nuked them. Like I said,
has he ever tweeted "learn to code"? We could probably do something with that.
Justice is being served.
Oh like, yeah.
Twitter is now getting 100%. This, and it's for a stupid reason. Like, y'all been so vigilant on nuking Trump, and
Twitter was all Netflix. Hold my beer. Oh, you got a video on your service that depicts children in a sexual manner, huh? Let me show you what we got at Twitter. Yeah, no, man. The absolute craziest possible hill to die on. But y'all do you. Y'all do you. We'll be over here.
Yeah. Watching that, man. It'll be too funny. I hope he gets paid. Really do. Really hope he gets paid. Like in the millions, dude.
Yeah. I would like to see a judgment with an ultimatum. I can't remember what the actual term for that is, but basically, so you can ask a judge for an injunction, which means you're requesting an immediate remedy to an issue that's going on right now. Like, say you were squatting there in that chair and I was done with you being here, but you had some sort of legal right that allowed you to be here. I could file a lawsuit against you with a request for an injunction, which says I'm asking the judge to issue an order right now telling Errol to get the hell out of here. And the judge can either issue that order. So you can also do that with a settlement. I don't know. It's got a different term. It's not called an injunction, but not only are you seeking monetary satisfaction for being made whole monetarily, but you're also requesting some sort of additional action. Like it could be the case of like if you were slandered by a media and you sued them and won, you could say I want $100 million and I want on the front page of your newspaper a retraction saying that I did not do those things and that you were culpable and found to be financially liable for your mistakes. And that can be an additional remedy that's a part of it. So like this kid could sue Twitter, and not kid anymore, but this guy could sue Twitter and be like, I want $100 million and I want you to do X. And if they win the lawsuit,
that's the best possible outcome I could think of. I don't know. Twitter just deserves this. I mean, I don't care, and they probably don't even care how much money they pay out to this kid, but like they deserve this type of attention for all the bullshit they've been pulling over the last couple of months.
I did send you the thing saying that their stock price actually dropped below its initial offering.
Yeah.
So no one's ever made money on Twitter. Like, I mean, theoretically you could have bought when it opened and it did peak out around like 56 and sold it then. Yeah. But like for instance, there were some people that saying they short sold Twitter at $15 at $15 a share. And so there was people out there actively trying to collapse the stock and make money off of it, but even they didn't make.
I mean, what if you buy it now? You could possibly.
But I mean, you'd be putting your money and hoping that Twitter is somehow going to be able to pull it around. Twitter is like financially unstable. Like they cannot figure out how to make that profitable.
Twitter?
Yeah.
Why?
Because like the ads don't work well, and it's a website for shit posting.
Yeah.
So like even if you're a company and you put up something and you have a customer respond to you with something really friendly and you're like, hey, thanks man, we appreciate your thing, you're gonna get flooded with people like, didn't you know a year ago he was a part of the Learn to Code, blah 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 blah, you know what I mean? And so like, and then they're like, oh, we're sorry, we'll undo that. So it's become like so dangerous. Like the only brands that are actually making Twitter work are like Wendy's. They recognize Twitter for what it is, and then they behave accordingly. When you're on Twitter, you're not trying to talk to 60-year-old moms and dads and grandmas and stuff. You're talking to like 20 to 40-year-old shit posters. Dress accordingly.
There, you said it. That's good. That's crazy.
You just got to figure out the game, and like nobody has. So like, and I know I'm a part of the coalition that does this, and eventually Twitter will catch on and they'll just ban us. But anytime I see an ad, I always block the account that's doing the ad. So even if it's something I like and shit, if they've done a paid promotion on Twitter, I just block. I'll never see that from you.
Maybe I need to start doing that. I mean, I do a lot of scrolling on it, but I don't.
Yeah, usually
retweet or post nothing.
Especially, I notice it more on my phone. My PC, for whatever, probably some of the ad blockers have something to do with it. But I don't see too many ads on my computer screen, but on my TV.
I need to get me some ad blockers. That's all I see is ads.
Yeah, but on PC, I like rarely see them. But I block every time I do. If you are paying Twitter for any service, you will not be. Because they garbage. It's shitter, if you will.
Twitter, Facebook should be too. Aren't they starting to turn on Facebook as the people who actually help organize?
Oh, they instigate everything.
The platform was used to organize the six.
Oh yeah, and in addition to that, they run algorithms that specifically gear people towards biased content to confirm their biases, because then we get more interactions. Because if you scroll past something that you think's kind of interesting, you're like, that's kind of cool, whatever, you're gonna scroll past it, you may give it a like. But if you scroll by something that pisses you off, you're gonna post something, you're gonna share it, you're gonna get all this interaction going, and that feeds the algorithm.
Yeah, well, they need to get nuked.
They do, because it's turning us all against each other. You know as well as I do, when you interact with...
I turn off notifications for Facebook. Good. I don't even...
Messenger is all... I'm like everybody else in the world. I mostly use Facebook to post stupid memes that are widely acceptable, and I use Messenger to say the shit I mean.
I don't even trust Messenger.
I don't either, but I don't give a shit. If they're going to send your best, that's all I can say. All right, well, let's change up stuff here. Enough of the politics. Did you see that there's a new Superman series coming from the CW?
Yeah, well, until this point, I didn't even know there was one coming out, so I'm interested to see what this looks like.
Well, didn't you used to watch some of the CW stuff?
Oh, yeah, Smallville or Arrow, Flash, pretty much it. I kind of fell off after like a couple seasons of Arrow. I was pretty much done with all. I really love Smallville. Like, his back in the day stuff was pretty good, but, I mean, Smallville.
Did they ever do that crossover thing where they brought the kid back? The kid that played Superman back in the day in Smallville?
Yeah, they did that. I mean, he didn't do crap. It was like they couldn't call him Superman. You know? Like, I don't know. Like, they always play Smallville, that character, that way. Like, we all know who he is, but no one ever said it. And no one ever spoke about Superman or anything like that. So that's how they played that during the crossover.
Did they use the S in the title for that?
Oh, they call it Smallville.
But did they use the S? Was Smallville an official DC product?
No. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it is. Because it was a lot of stuff they couldn't do. And I think that was the reason why they couldn't say stuff like Superman. Like, they wouldn't even dress him up in the costume. They did the very last episode. And that was barely.
No flights, no tights.
Yeah, that was the motto. Yeah.
No flights, no tights. Okay, all right, well, this one's literally called Superman and Lois, so it looks like the CW, because I think the CW is the culmination of what... Was Smallville on the CW?
Yeah.
Was it called the CW?
What do you mean?
Wasn't it something else?
No, Smallville was on something else before it got on the CW.
That's what I'm talking about.
The first season, first and second season, I think was on another network, and then it just appeared on CW. That was it. Maybe they like bought it or something like that.
Because you were watching that in real time as that came out, right?
Yeah. And that was like in 2000, 2001.
Was T into that one too, or was that just you?
Yeah. He watched some of it. Yeah, he watched all of it. Yeah, we were all into that. That was our show.
Well, then make sure he knows about this. All right, well, let's check it out. We're going to roll it. Audio may be a little messed up. I'll try to adjust it as we go, but let's check it out.
When we were dreaming about having a family, it didn't look like this, did it? Lost jobs, teens with severe anxiety, parents gone too soon.
Why'd you move the family here? Still looking for the simple life? Because those days are gone, Clark. Long gone.
You got the weight of the world on your shoulders.
I really wish I could get drunk sometimes. You're saying you're Superman?
Well, we've seen Superman before. We've seen him.
Am I a bad father?
We're gonna be all right. No one ever dreams about the problems, but every life has them. Even the extraordinary ones.
Superman and Lois, 2-hour premiere event Tuesday, February 23rd. Stream free next day only on the CW app.
Oh, February 20th.
I strangely got excited for that.
Right?
But at the same time, I kind of hate they picked that actor to play Superman.
Who is that?
He didn't want to play Superman during the crossover on CW. It was like those couple of episodes, and now he's got his own show, I guess. But he's just weird looking to me.
Why?
For a Superman, I don't know.
I mean, who is your ideal Superman?
I not that guy. That's fair. I don't know.
There was one shot in there that I thought was kind of neat. Do you got any idea who that is? Sorry, guys. Who's that?
I don't know. You look like the guy from Halo.
That's what I was gonna say. Look like Master Chief. Is Master Chief the new villain in the
I have
Superman
no idea who he is.
Show?
That might be like a new villain.
Okay, well, and then there was the scene while he was hovering above Earth. Did you see that? He gets tackled.
Sometimes. You're saying you're Superman?
See that?
Was this the armor suit that did that?
Yeah, it looked like it. Now, he turns like he hears him coming.
You're saying you're Superman?
Wait a minute, what was that?
It's like
You're
a
Superman.
ship. That's what or like a torpedo or something. They don't like a person.
You don't have to hear.
That was some time.
You think so?
Yeah, he got.
I can bring it down a little. Because in stills, it's just. Well, you get like 5 frames of it. They weren't messing around. Yeah, that's that suit, dude.
Make sure to blur that part out.
I don't know. It looks really interesting.
It does.
But, I mean, CW is just so terrible.
This seemed like a little bit more of a slower pace than...
More of a drama.
Yeah. Which was Smallville was, too.
With high production qualities, actually. Now, I don't know if this is just for the sake of the...
trailer.
Yeah, but, I mean, dude, the production qualities on these look a little high for a CW show, don't it?
It looked like a movie, right?
Yeah.
Look like this, did it?
It might be
Lost
just
jobs,
that,
teens with severe anxiety.
It look a little
trailer
dark.
company.
Are those
Parents
his
gone
kids?
too soon.
Is that what that's supposed to be? Like he's supposed to be inside?
Why'd you
He's
move the
retired or
family
something?
Still looking for the simple life?
Yeah, why did he come
Those
there?
days are gone, Clark. Long gone.
I think Martha died, maybe.
You got the weight of the world on your shoulders.
He look like a
Really wish I
stepdad.
get drunk
Cause if them his
sometimes.
kids, they got power too.
Right.
So
You're saying
I bet
you're
they're just like
Superman?
neighborhood kids or something.
Well, we've seen Superman before. We've seen him.
Yeah, see, those look like neighborhood kids.
Am I a bad father?
We're gonna be all right. No one ever dreams about the problems, but every life has them. Even the extraordinary ones.
Superman and Lois, 2-hour premiere event Tuesday, February.
I'm down. I'll check it out. I'll give it a chance.
okay, yeah,
It's
why
been a
not?
while since we had a good Superman movie. Dude.
Yeah.
It's a good Superman story. I still think they need to do that Superman at the end. I still think that'd be the best story.
Superman at the end.
It's like a 7-part series where it starts off with the birth of Krypton and it literally goes all the way to the point that the sun envelops the earth. Superman just lives forever until until that sun quits being that shade of blue yellow. He's gonna be here forever.
He can go across galaxies, right? Can he just go to another sun?
Never been established. That's never been established. Remember, Superman's flight is a feat of strength. So it is not him moving himself through space and time.
Well, then you must be talking about like old comics because, I mean, like now we clearly see him fly.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
in a
from what
gravity
about-
field. He's in a gravity field.
Right, from his cells.
No, he's in a like Earth's gravity well when he does that, or he's in the sun's gravity well when he does that. I don't know, and maybe you can answer it. Is there a circumstance where Superman has been between solar systems in intergalactic space and been able to move? Because every time I've seen Superman in that situation, he is in a spaceship.
No, I've seen him with like a helmet on, like a spacesuit almost, and flying through space.
But
it was like an animated cartoon.
But was it just like through inside a solar system, where he still had a gravitational well to be influenced upon? Like right now, you
like
know
still
the
in,
center
like,
of gravity is at the Earth.
Yeah.
If you had an ability to where you could push yourself away from the center of gravity, you would push yourself away from that. Okay,
Right.
just like if you were floating in the International Space Station. If you ever got to a point on the space station where you couldn't touch anything and you were stuck there, someone's got to come save you. Because you can't influence yourself to move in a direction.
Right, okay, I see what you're saying.
Without
All right.
a gravity or something to push off of. So is there a circumstance where Superman's been between like Sol and Alpha Centauri, 4 light years apart, been in the middle of that and still be able to independently influence his momentum?
I can't accurately say yes to that.
So then that's what I'm getting at.
But I'm not saying that he can either.
Right. But I believe that the flying has always been a feat of strength. It's something he pulls off with strength, and what I mean by that is it's like if you could like flex really hard and cause yourself to hover off the floor. The harder you could do that, the higher up in the air you could go.
You believe that's what he's doing?
No, but it's to describe to you what a feat of strength is.
Gotcha.
Meaning it isn't something he just says, "I'm gonna float," and then he's floating. it's a feat of strength. Like Magneto doesn't flex something to influence metal, he just thinks about it, and it's more telepathy than anything else. Well, Superman is not flying telepathically. He's not, using his mind to move things around. It's a feat of strength. And in different canons, they've used different methods to describe it. Like in one of them, it was his hands that the harder faster he could go, or something like that. But it's always been a feat of strength, so it requires a will. So that's an interesting question. See how that would play out. But I'm interested to see how they want to do it. And writers have always taken liberty with Superman, which is why, dude, I think back in the 80s, you could probably find the comic. At one point, I shit you not, Superman blew out a star.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, that goes against physics because that's not a fire.
I read a comic where he chained up all 8, 9 planets, whatever believe, and dragged them across the galaxy and shit like that. So,
and again, so that would be a question too: is can he fly away from something that he's holding on to? That would be so. A writer somewhere at some point was like, "Yeah, he can just." So he's just warping the fabric of space to move himself around. Physics doesn't apply to Superman.
Nothing applies to Superman.
See, but I've seen him written. I've seen him written in a manner that physics does apply to Superman, and he's just as susceptible to the laws of physics. For instance, Superman is completely vulnerable to magic in all forms. Right. I'm talking, you can kill Superman with a card trick. He's all forms of magic he is susceptible to. So he obeys the laws of physics. So, but I mean, in a show like that, though, I wouldn't care in a cartoon if it was the Superman animated series. I do not give two shits about how he would get to Alpha Centauri. But if you're gonna film it, the physics is applied, and you got to make sure it's going to work out together, because if not, you end up with a CW series. I'm right. I'm right.
All that nerd rage.
Right, where the CW is from my perspective as a layman who doesn't really watch a lot of whole CW, to me it appears as though just make it work for this scene. Just make it work for this scene. Well, he can vibrate. I know, but in this scene we need him to not do that.
Yeah.
So
it's more about the flashiness.
Yeah, but hopefully they actually do it. I think there's a market right now for DC to get their shit together, because it's been so dreary. I mean, they have the occasional little, but most of it's just I guess we have that movie now.
Yeah, ain't nothing they're playing right now. Any shows they got out, it's not interesting.
They're banking everything on, you saw Wonder Woman basically flopped and's got terrible reviews, and for some reason people aren't outraged about the fact that Wonder Woman basically raped that guy.
I didn't see it.
Oh, okay.
Now I want to see it.
All right. So
now I'm gonna go home and watch it.
All right.
What?
All right. So check it out. All right. So the MacGuffin device for the Wonder Woman 1984 is a wishing stone, and that's what they call it. And anyone that's holding it and wishes gets their wish. Physics and world consequences be damned. And you know what Wonder Woman, what Diana wished for? Trevor to come back, right? Yeah. So, you'd think, well, he just comes back, right? No, he doesn't. A guy that's alive now suddenly is being possessed by Trevor.
I see.
Everyone sees him as dude. Even Diana sees him as dude, and he sees him as dude. But it's Trevor.
Right.
And after a couple minutes of her interacting with him, she stops seeing him as the other guy, and she sees him as Trevor for the rest of the movie.
Right.
She bangs him. So her dead boyfriend possessed a body, and then she banged it.
So you say she raped him.
Did the original guy agree to have not? And here's the thing,
I'm not even.
What do you mean?
I mean, because the argument can be made that this person, this body said
no,
okay.
Because he was completely controlled by Trevor.
Right,
he
but
wasn't
nobody
even
else
present.
knows that. I'm talking about being technically.
Okay, so
he gave the okay.
So let's flip that around. Okay, so now it's not Wonder Woman, it's Wonder Man. And he wished for his girlfriend to come back.
Right.
And his girlfriend took over some random woman's body. And then he banged her. Is it okay still, Errol? Is it still okay?
And I the moment I realized, like, damn, this shit is not okay. It was like, it was real quick. And then the other, listen.
How about this? I want to go one more further.
If we took that to court, I could get my client off.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, if they were being filmed, she willingly did it.
Okay, so how about this?
I can get my client off.
How about this? So one day, you and your girlfriend who's possessing another woman's body.
You don't have to take it that far. Why gotta be anybody that know me?
All right, so me and my girlfriend, who is currently possessing some random woman's body, are walking down the street, and we walk by some smoking chick, and we're like, damn, look at her. And I'm like, hey, honey. And so now she jumps over and possesses that woman, and then I take her home and bang her. Did I do anything wrong?
Wait, so he can switch bodies?
I don't know, but he randomly assigned one. How is that any fucking different? This dude was just walking through an airport and suddenly he's Trevor. We don't even get explained to where dude goes. He's just not there. And it was funny because in one of the scenes in the movie, they have to try to go international. They have to try to cross the international lines. And so they go through all this bullshit because Trevor doesn't have a passport. Did you check to see if dude did?
Wait, what?
Did you check to see if the guy that he's possessing has a passport? He might just have a passport. The people don't see Trevor. They see the guy. Yeah. Random Bill.
Random Bill.
Like, seriously, but like that's how he got assigned. And is that okay?
Guess not.
I mean,
damn. But
let's say Wonder Woman wasn't smoking hot.
Go as far as say it's rape though. It's kind of fucked up for a Wonder
What if
Woman
dude
movie.
just wakes up with an STD?
How? There's no way around it. Once you put that in my head, I cannot unsee that.
But the problem is there wasn't a single fucking 7-year-old on staff for this movie to go, hey guys. Like a child would have seen the problem with this movie. The premise is fucked up. That Trevor is possessing some dude's body for the adventures. What if he had died? Apparently there's some really perilous scenes where Trevor could have died. Well, dude would have died. How is that voluntary? How did he volunteer for that?
I mean, I guess.
And get all the scars for an adventure he doesn't remember.
I mean,
it's just an oversight for the movie. It's like, what is this really? You spent all the time developing this movie, and this is what you guys came up with? And then in addition, there's this one guy, because that's the thing, is they weren't being forced into this situation. This was a movie they chose to film. And then apparently some leader in the movie gets the power of the wishing stone and then changes the rules to where if you're watching him on TV, you can make a wish and it'll come true. And so the whole planet does.
I guess you fucked it for me, cause
you still gotta go watch it.
No, for what? The whole time be thinking all the shit he's fucking this dude. You know what I mean? What if they live and now he got this stank on him?
He goes home. And he's like, honey's like, where have you been? And he's like, I don't know where I've been. And she's like, you smell like pussy.
Yeah. And you can't see that shit now.
What's this in your pocket? What is this? It's glowing. I don't know, but we should probably turn it over to authorities. I haven't even seen it, but I saw a synopsis, and halfway through the synopsis, I'm like, wait a minute.
That's crazy.
You wrote a movie. Someone was like, no, this is a great idea.
Somebody was just trying to make the most money they possibly can. And
super easy, barely an inconvenience. But yeah, other than that, the only other thing DC's really got pumping at this moment, dude, is the waiting on the recut of a movie we've already seen.
What is that?
the Snyder Cut. Justice League Snyder Cut. A movie we've already seen. And it's like no, it's going to be cut different, and it's going to be the vision he originally had. And it's like, well, first off, Batman versus Superman was his vision entirely. No one pulled him off that movie. What happened there? But Justice League, you cannot go out and film 50% of the movie and call it a recut. Like, you can't go out and film half as many scenes as what you already had.
So they're doing it over?
They're filming all kinds of new stuff for it. Affleck's back, everybody's back. They're trying to add scenes to it, and they're recutting it with They're recutting it with the other stuff and gonna be putting it out as the Snyder Cut. It's gonna be like a 3-part movie on HBO Max. And these people are like, yes, this is what we want. No, listen.
Because they think they're going back and doing it right.
Yeah,
unfucking what they fucked up.
Yeah, but this is the thing. They're filming more scenes, adding entirely new strings that weren't there originally. No, bitch, you're making another movie trying to claim this was your original version. You basically put out a movie, field tested it to the entire planet, took the criticism from it, and now you're going back to fix it. No, that's cheating. That's like giving Trump another shot because the first term didn't go so well. And they're calling it a whole new movie, and everybody's all acting like they're all excited for it when it's a total fucking scam.
I mean, what's wrong with that though?
What happened was a bunch of people got sucked into the meme of the Snyder Cut, and now they have to own it. It's like if you were accidentally a flat earther for a couple months and then realized you were dumb, but you made it such a part of your identity and your brand that you have to keep it up, even though you've been shown with your own eyes evidence it's not true. Like, we took you up to space, and we're like, look, and you're like, no, it's flat. You know, like seriously, and these people they're dying on this hill that the Snyder Cut's going to be the greatest thing ever. HBO Max is betting everything on it, and they're putting tons of money into it, and it's going to sell. And listen, dude, do you know what?
But it might be great.
And even if it is, they're not going to make their money back because of churn. Listen, the streaming networks just figured out recently that they're having a huge problem with churn because people, like, say you wanted to watch The Mandalorian. Well, why pay for 4 months of Disney Plus? Wait until it's over, subscribe for a week, and watch the whole thing and cancel it. And that's what people are doing. And so Disney Plus is losing subscribers. The HBO Max, I don't give a shit. It could have 100 subscribers before this Snyder Cut comes out. Everybody's going to sign up for the free trial, right? Watch the Snyder Cut, and then bounce. I'm not going to... Why would you... So you're really going to support HBO Max for 2 years until your movie comes out or something? Or are you just going to do it then?
Yeah.
So, but they're banking
I'm
everything.
I'm guilty of that shit.
Yeah, dude, why would you bother doing
quick.
it? Yeah, okay, so there's nothing like... Dude, as soon as The Mandalorian was over, they were thought, oh yeah, that's okay, because The Mandalorian will be over, and then 2 weeks later, Wanda and Vision's going to start, and we got them. No, you lost them. 60 million subscribers down.
They going to start getting people in contracts is what it's going to be.
Right. Yes, that is exactly what was said, is as soon as they figure out a way to adjust the churn, if they can't fix it, they'll lock everybody into a year, and then boom, we are right back where we were with cable.
Yeah, but people going to overcome that. I mean, what are you going to do? Hey, let me use your Netflix. And it's going to be like 10 people using one that fucking Netflix or some shit.
They're already starting to limit that, man. You can only, even Netflix, I think you're allowed 4 accounts now. Hulu, you're allowed 2. They're starting to figure out that people are doing that. It's like when the price rate goes up, and there's a big thread on Twitter about Netflix raising their price, and people are like, that's the account holder's problem. That sounds like the account holders issue. They should take that up with Netflix. Nobody cares because everybody's sharing, and even then the content gets spread and stuff. It's really hard to own a pixel. It's really hard to own zeros and ones. Once there's a copy of your zeros and ones out there, that copy is just as good as your original zeros and ones.
Free.
And if you keep raising the price on things up and up and up that make it more expensive, you continue to incentivize people to do it another way.
Or don't use the service.
Or just ignore it. Yeah, and right now it is not a good time for entertainment portals to be like, we're better than you. Know everything's getting bad and expensive again. You are an easy thing to cut.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm glad to see terrestrial media like CW getting ready to actually be able to put up something, hopefully a good product. I mean, the buzz around it's pretty tight. But no, the whole landscape's bad. You have right now, well, for instance, Marvel's not putting a whole lot of efforts into their movies right now. It's all going into like TV shows and stuff. Did you
why
see?
do they want to get on?
Did you see Chris? Did you see Chris Evans signed a new contract?
For what? Guardians?
Evans, Captain America.
Oh, yeah, not Chris.
Why would he do that? Isn't he an old man now? Sure he is.
They probably that's what they probably do. They probably
Cap was an old man until Chad died. Chadwick Boseman. Cap was out until that happened. When Black Panther died, Marvel's in a full-blown
panic mode.
Keep everybody. How do we keep Robert Downey in here? How do we keep this? How do we keep that? Because the next generation was supposed to be Chadwick Boseman, Tom Holland, Chris Pratt, Brie Larson. They were gonna bring up the next.
She's still got a job.
Yeah, she's still. There's some crazy rumors going around, but as far as we know, she's still Captain Marvel. Like they were trying to bank it on all these actors going forward, and then Chadwick Boseman died, and so now like it's like, man, maybe this plan ain't gonna work. And here's the deal: from like Kevin Feige's perspective, your next movies have to follow Endgame. That's always the problem. Like, the one thing Greta Thunberg is right about is you cannot have unchecked continuous growth. It doesn't exist. You can't continuously make more money because eventually you cap out and there's just no more money to be had. And Marvel's going to find that out, and I think they're finding that out now. I'm telling you, I'm willing to bet the Marvel executives were banking a ton on WandaVision. And it's just not there, man. It's going to fit a very small group. For everybody else, it's okay, so what happened in WandaVision that I need to know about? Okay, so there's this, whatever it is, you're going to get filled in, and then you're going to slide right into Doctor Strange in the Universe of Madness, and it won't matter. The Multiverse of Madness, it won't matter. And
somebody will be explaining it on YouTube.
You're right, exactly. Maybe us. We'll slide right into something else. But I don't put a lot of bank in it, dude. We'll have to see what ultimately ends up happening. But good luck to the CW on the Superman thing. I will check it out. We'll try to remind each other in February.
That's a long time away.
It's like a month, just about a month. So, but we'll see what happens.
We'll check it out.
So wow, yeah. So we got to cover a lot of stuff in this run.
We did.
It was nice.
You pulled me over. I can't, like I said, I can't unsee it now. And I don't think I would have saw it that way if I actually watched the movie. Right. I think you infected me, and now I can't unsee it. It just is what it is. I guess.
Watch it, because check it out, because you may find that it's still made a decent, okay, watchable movie, as long as you just.
Well, all the reviews I saw were bad anyway.
Bad Rotten Tomato scores too. Yeah. But thanks for hanging out, for watching us. We really appreciate it. Here at Grimy Politics, we're giving this an actual go, whether you're watching it on the YouTube channel or possibly listen to it on podcast, or watch us while we were actually streaming it live. We appreciate you hanging out, and be sure to
try to get a podcast too.
Yeah,
soon, are we?
That's on you, man. If you, I'll produce the audio for you, and you figure out the rest of it.
All right,
and we'll see where it goes. And
we'll take it there.
Yeah, we'll do what we can. But make sure to like, subscribe, follow, whatever the gender platform that you're on does, or whatever it is. But thanks for hanging out. We appreciate it. Have a great afternoon, evening. Later.